Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to do another review. Granted, I tried to clean these off, but unfortunately there are both used products, AirPod 2s, and then we have the lifenote 3S. I don't know why I get these names mixed up sometime. So anyway, the reason we're doing this video today is for one reason and one reason only. Basically, there's people out there that still are skeptical about whether you should own a pair of AirPods. Now, if you're an Apple user, like I always say to people, if you're Apple, of course you should own a pair of AirPods, primarily because the software in these allow you from AirPod 2s and up. We're not talking about one they've been discontinued. The AirPod 2s, AirPod 3s, AirPod Pros, they have features where it actually reads text messages to you, notifications for different applications. If you set it up where it does that, it'll actually ask you the moment you go through the setup if you want it to read back to you. That's a very cool feature. It has in-ear detection. It does have some type of water resistance. You're not going to go swimming with it, but if this gets wet, you're not going to just have to buy a new headset right away. Now, I did receive these at the pawn shop, of course, that I normally shop at for about $60, I believe it was. I forget the exact price, $65. On the other hand, I did get these for $69.99, brand new. AirPod 2s are currently at $129. Unfortunately, they're $199 if you get the wireless case, which is kind of no point. If you're going to go that high, you might as well just get the 3 model. So what we're going to do is a quick comparison and just talk about what these two have to offer and why you should buy one other than the other. So let's try to make this as short as possible. You know my videos can be long if you've seen my channel. So new viewers, subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can see all the videos that pop up and support the channel, because this is just me reviewing products that I already own or ones that I buy to kind of give you guys a different perspective, not just what the commercial is telling you. So first things first, if you notice the design of these, let me go ahead and take these out of the case so you can see them. And I'm going to take the other ones out of the case so you can see them. So we could do a little size comparison. So right here, personally, you may have not heard of the lifenote 3S. And with this particular headset, this is the in-ear design. Personally, if we're talking about how they look, I'm going to go hands down with this. It has a much smaller stem than the AirPods. And of course, in my opinion, this has a much better feel inside of your ear. And it feels a little bit lighter because of the smaller stem. And it has a snugger fit. But what I will say about with open ear designs, just take that with a grain of salt, because open ear is still going to move around in your ear a little bit, especially if you're wearing a hat. If you have longer hair, if something touches it, it will move, which will drastically change how the music sounds in your ear. On the other hand, if we're talking about design, you already know we have the Q-tip design of the AirPod 2s. The ones and the twos look exactly the same. For those that buy headphones secondhand, and just make sure you look at the model number when you sync it, and you could tell whether it's a generation 2 or generation 1. Be aware of that, because people will sell you fake AirPods and everything. And that's why I always suggest go to a reputable dealer, or if you go to pawn shops like me, I went to We Buy Everything. They sell products. They actually test their products and make sure and run the serial numbers to make sure they're not selling you a dud. So be aware of that. So anyway, you have the open air design also with the AirPods. And, obviously it sits right here. It's less, I'm not going to say it's more real estate right here, but it's less in terms of what fits into your ear and how deep it goes. While these have a little, I'm going to say a little bit longer, but they just fit better. Like if you look at the cut of the front right here, this is more so on a slant. This is more oval and wider, but this slides into your ear easier in my opinion, but to each their own. On the other hand, things that this headphone doesn't have, well, actually, let's talk about battery life first. That's the most important part for a lot of people that watch these videos is battery life. And then we'll get into sound and functionality, all that fun stuff. So for Android users, obviously for Apple users, the AirPod 2s are better headphones. Hands down, it's not common sense. If we're talking about, I kind of skipped the battery life, but 5-hour battery life for both of these. This case gives you, with the case, 24 hours. With this one, it gives you 35 hours. You get a talk time of 3 hours with this. I believe the 3S talk time still is 5 hours or 4 hours, I forget. But the point is that they're very similar in terms of talk time. They're very similar in terms of listening time. So you do get that 5 hours of listening time for each one, especially for people that normally don't talk in their headphones. A lot of people just buy them because they're at work. They want to listen to podcasts. They want to listen to music, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to listen to an audio book. They work both for that. AirPods over here. I'm sorry, I got the camera. I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm just talking. So with the AirPods, You do have in-ear detection. So when you put it inside of your ear, it will connect. If you take it out of your ear, it will disconnect, just so you know. The Anker 3S doesn't have that feature. It doesn't have any type of in-ear detection. You're not going to be able to deal with that. So it'll be more of a situation where you take it out of the case, it'll be automatically connected after like a few seconds. And then until you put it back inside the actual case itself, it'll disconnect. Another feature about these two cases is that when you put these inside the case, it will let you know. I'm sorry, I put it in the wrong way. Here we are. Do that properly. It'll let you know which one's connected from the left blinking and the right blinking, as you can see. And you can actually have does this have a physical button? No, it doesn't. But the outside right here will let you know how charged the actual case is. There's 3 dots, I believe, right here. And it'll let you know how charged the case is from 0 to 100%. With AirPods, even to this day, obviously the wireless AirPods will have the dot on the outside for those that aren't, that have those and probably haven't seen this case. But normal AirPods without wireless charging capability, the dot will be in the inside and it will not let you know your battery life. But the difference is that if you're using an Apple device and you open up the case while your phone is near, it will let you know how charged your earphones are. It will let you know how charged your case is and whether you need to put it on a charger or not. So just be aware of that. App functionality, there's a lot more functions, obviously, with AirPods, which you're not going to jump into because remember, the AirPods are better overall. If we're talking about audio, I catch the train. Busy train, screeching in the subway, things like that. I talk to my wife. Outside of drop calls, which depends on your network, AirPods are without a doubt hands down the better device, primarily because I'm able to talk into my headset. And my wife says it sounds exactly like you're talking into your phone. So they did a phenomenal job on call quality. The Ankers, on the other hand, if you're in a more quiet environment, they do excel. Obviously, they're not better than the AirPods, but they do very well for the price point that you're getting. In addition to that, if you're in the subway, my wife said that she couldn't really hear me or sound muffled, so it doesn't do a very good job of isolating noises. Not at all. So if you're in a windy environment, inclement weather, things like that, rain is fine. A little bit of wind is okay. But if you're doing, obviously we're not going to talk about hurricanes. I've never been in one or anything like that. But if you're dealing with a lot more noise, like trains and heavy background, this is where you start to see these fell a little bit in the hearing department. But realistically, if you're walking down the street, you're perfectly fine. If you're walking past traffic, you'll be perfectly fine with the Ankers. I'm not going to count them out and say that they sound terrible because they don't. They actually sound pretty good. But on the other hand, ultimately, obviously, the AirPods are going to be at a better price. So you might be asking yourself, why am I doing this comparison? Oh, I'm sorry. And they're both Bluetooth 5.0. Forgot about that. The reason I'm doing that comparison is because some people have ears where they prefer the open ear design of the AirPods, which you can use AirPods with Android devices, obviously. But at that $129 price point right now, and remember, some places are still selling it more because they're scam artist companies and that's what they do. If you don't say anything about it, they're not going to say anything. So just make sure when you go in places like Target and different places that you do a price match because they will honor the price of other places like Micro Center, Walmart's, the Best Buys of the world. They will honor that price. So be aware of that. And if they don't, that's fine. Just go to another place and buy them. You should never spend more if you don't have to. But again, $129, $69.99. Sometimes these are on sale for about $99 to $109, which is good. Sometimes the Ankers are on sale for $49. So it definitely varies. And not everybody likes that crazy long stem design. Some people like Anker brand like me. Personally, I prefer the Ankers because of the sound profile. Granted, AirPods sound very, very good. AirPods is one of the best headphones that you can get on the market in terms of just availability everywhere. That's what I mean. We're talking about open ear design. We're not talking about earbuds that have rubber tips. So that's not a fair comparison. We're talking about open ear. Overall, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say AirPods are probably the best. But with the Anker brand, they've been making better speakers over time. They have HD callings, the clarity. It does a very good job. And if you're like me, where you're just listening to music or you're having phone calls, comfortability is a big thing. I always felt that this is better. Some people, and the functionality for Android, and this actually does have touch controls. But again, if you want to see that video, go ahead and go into my reviews on my page. And I actually did review the Ankers. They're very good for the price. Very, very, very good. I just wanted to show that there is a alternative to AirPods. And if you're not the type of person where you want to shop or do research, well, that's why you should subscribe to this channel, because I'm always going to put cheaper price headphones against the higher one. So with that being said, I don't want to ramble on for too long. The video is already going on for 10 minutes. That's pretty much it. Now, we could talk specs about drivers and things like that, but that's not a necessity because this is simply just to make you aware of different price points. And with that being said, that's the end of the video. That's a little comparison that I'm going to go ahead and do. Oh, one last thing, forgot to mention. This is USB-C, of course. And this guy here is Lightning. So if you're one of those people where you buy AirPods, you don't want to necessarily carry multiple cords, then you might want to stick to AirPods if you have Apple devices. I'm always going to say AirPods for Apple people. For Androids, you could use either or, though what I will say is features like reading text messages back to you and things like that won't work on Androids because the software isn't compatible. The only thing that you're getting is the Bluetooth, and that's it. Oh, and one more thing. Forgot to mention this too. When it comes to charging, they both have fast charging. I believe 10 minutes of charging give you about an hour in these. I forget the exact amount. Apple also has their fast charging for their headsets. I don't remember the exact time because I'm not trying to do all the research, but they do have fast charging capabilities with both of them. Now, that's the last part of the video. And I will see you guys in the next one where we do some more fun comparisons. Preferably, I am going to work on more phones just so you guys know. I had some YouTubers or just people that's on YouTube that said that, they wanted to see more phones on this channel. I'll do a poll eventually for the people that are subscribed, and depending on the type of content that you want to see, I'll kind of dive into that area more so, get more phones in, at least one phone a month or 2 phones a month or so. So with that being said, I'll see you guys. I'm rambling. Take care.